Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share with you how I build my night vision scope adapters. I start by using one of these 1/3 inch security cameras. First I have to remove the infrared filter from the camera before I can install it into the scope adapter. So I'll disassemble the camera and show you how I do that now. You see the little purple glare there is the infrared filter that's glued to the front of this camera chip. So I'm going to use a soldering iron to heat the filter up until it melts the glue, and then I'll pop that filter off. So I got a soldering iron here with a wide flat tip and the temperature set to 390. And I just rub this filter with this soldering iron until I heat it up enough that the glue starts to melt. Okay, so I got the filter removed, and that was a fight. That glue was really holding it on there and ended up coming off in little chunks and pieces. So once you get the filter off, you'll need to use like a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol and clean what's left of that glue off of the glass lens that's left on there. Alrighty, so I'll go ahead and reassemble it, and when I do reassemble it, I'm going to be using a new lens, and the lens is a size 16 or 16 millimeter lens, and put that together. Okay, and that's what the camera will look like as we're using it. We're not going to use any of the other pieces that come with it. And I'll go ahead and check the fit into the part that I 3D printed, the housing for it. Should fit pretty snug and a little bit sticking out, just like that. Alrighty. The next step is going to be to install this 4-pin connector into the camera housing. And the first thing you have to do with this is get this nut pressed in to the hex slot here on the camera housing. So normally I use the end of a screwdriver or something to press it in, but I've done a few of these now and I want to try this. I 3D printed a piece that will help me to drive that in. I'll get it started by hand. And I'll go ahead and press it the rest of the way in. Look pretty good. This should screw down in there. Yep. Alrighty. So the next step is going to be to solder the 4 wires to this connector and get it ready to be hooked up to the camera. So I'll set that up. Okay, so I've prepped the power cable and the power cable that goes to the camera with the signal wire. So the first thing I'm going to do here is twist the light colors together and then tint them. Now I'm going to go through and trim them all off to where they're about that long. About 3/16. And I'm going to slide my pre-cut heat shrink down over them. And that part of the harness is ready, and I just need to pre-tin the connector. I'll be using pins 1, 2, and 3. So pre-tin those now. Pin 1 is going to be black. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but a little bit more on that one. Pin 2 is red. And 3 is yellow, which is the signal wire. Now I just slide the heat shrink down over the connection. And hit them with a little bit of the lighter. And there's that connection all made up. For this to go through the nut, I have to trim this knurling off. And I do that just with a pocket knife. Here it is, ready to go in. Then plug in the camera. And then I like to put a little zip tie right here as a strain relief. Okay, now so we're ready for the final assembly of the camera section. When I print this, I don't print the holes all the way through. The bottom layer here I leave solid. It's just because of the way my printer prints it. It never really comes out quite right. I always have to babysit when it starts those holes, so it was easier just to print it solid and then come back behind it and drill it out. So what I use is one of these countersink bits and a drill, and I just kind of eyeball it and it'll find the hole on its own. And that's all it takes. That way I just end up with a much cleaner bolt hole. So the way this goes on, should set on the scope like this, and this little strain relief right here will grab a hold of the wire and hold it in place. So you need to kind of eyeball that and place your zip tie. And about there looks good. And on the adapter part that goes on the scope, I'm using these little threaded inserts. I imagine I should have printed one or drew one up that took a hex nut, but I had these inserts, so this is one I'm using, but I'll probably have to, for other people to use it, have to make one with a hex nut. But these inserts just press in. And this is intended for this to be in this orientation on the scope, where the slots are horizontal. So it'll go together like that. And then you'll place the back cover on there and just make sure you don't pinch any wires. Yeah, there's the camera module all put together. And to hold it on the scope, I've been using just a C-clamp. Normally just one C-clamp, but this is all I had for right now. But Stay tuned for part 2 where I show you how to build the LCD screen. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe.